Boy, I'll tell you what. All right, this is it. It's happening. We're starting right now. And it begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, what's with all the white stuff?
Teeth. How do they work?
I don't think the USB stick should go there.
Man versus mountain lion.
One man's dead shark is another man's bong.
I did not approve of this life.
Tom's Tech Time recommendals and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
And now on BBC Two, a look at the world of science and technology with a new series of Look Around You.
There was no doubt I'd never seen so many cups of tea before.
This is The Morning Stream. I'm bleeding to death. Humor me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to TMS. It is The Morning Stream for Wednesday, February 6, 2019. It's 9:07 in the AM. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
Uh-huh.
That's German.
Guten Morgen.
Yeah. Let's do like when you turn on your phone for the first time and it gives you all those languages. What else do we know?
Oh, yeah.
Willkommen.
Willkommen.
Uh-huh.
Willkommen. Aloha.
Aloha. Hello.
Konnichiwa.
Hello, it says. Oftentimes. It'll say hello in English. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's a show. We got a show. We're doing a show. Let's do a show. I'm grumpy this morning because there's a million miles of snow outside. Just tons of snow. It finally happened. We got the biggest storm of the year. And, I was complaining yesterday, or not complaining, but saying yesterday how weird it was that it was just going to be rain. And then all of a sudden it's actual snow, and it's freaking everywhere. And it's piled up and all blown up next to the house, and, like, snow drifts everywhere and, like, buried everything. And they're closing schools, and the university isn't opening until possibly later, but maybe not at all. And like all this kind of stuff going down. And Kim has to go to take Taylor and the baby to a doctor's appointment for just a scheduled thing that was a normal thing, but you have to go do it. So all this stuff's going on, and it's just making me cranky, and it's still snowing. So yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
I hope they have four-wheel drive, right?
Nope.
Oh.
No.
No, you don't have a single car that's got four-wheel drive?
Oh, hell no. We got a freaking Honda. It's a Honda Accord, front-wheel drive, Honda Accord, and my crappy little Ford with also front-wheel drive, and that's it. Normally it's enough. It's, we don't have, it's not that bad here. We make it through most years, but whew, it's just bad right now. I could really use like a Durango or something.
A Kia Telluride?
Yeah. Yeah, that thing can go through water, as you know. Goes right through the lake.
Well, yeah, if you're a professional driver, it can. I think we're supposed to get that too. Right now, it is crazy foggy outside, or at least this morning when I looked outside, it was crazy foggy. Just totally not what you expect the beginning of February.
Well, I am pushing it all your way, so enjoy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Great.
And have some fun. We never had a van. What's the chat room talking about?
I don't know what they're saying.
Maybe they mean they're making a joke because the kid's name is Van. Is that the deal?
Oh, yeah. What happened to the van? Yeah.
There's no van. We have no van. We used to have a Honda van back in the day. We don't have a van now. Never had a minivan.
The minivan.
Now we have a minivan, but
clever.
He's a little tiny
clever.
baby.
Too clever for us, apparently, this early in the morning.
Yeah, Sam's right. I should get a snorkel. That's what I should do. Anyway, got a big show, got a big day, got a big bunch of stuff to do today. Wednesdays are crazy for me, so I can't wallow in my grumpy morning state. I have to kick it off.
Yeah, that's what we do this thing here for, is to slowly move you out of grumpy status.
Wake us right up.
I should be grumpier. I think I am a little bit grumpy, Scott, because I had my dentist appointment yesterday, and
how'd it go?
What do we like? We're 19 hours since my dentist appointment, right? Because it was at 2 p.m. yesterday. So 12 hours would be 2 a.m. and it's 7 hours past that, so 12 plus 7 is 19 is my math, the way I'm doing math.
That tracks, yeah.
Should my cheek still feel like it's coming out of numbness?
No.
Wouldn't you think that would be done with like?
They hit you in like the brainstem or something, or what happened there?
They must have like poked a nerve or something, because it's still, and it feels like
that is weird.
Like still a little bit numb, and like it's got that coolness, like, you know how there's that kind of your cheek feels cold as it's it's waking up.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got that right now.
Well, that's great. That's like the time I had my eyes dilated and they didn't go back to normal for 3 days. I know how this feels.
That's what I'm worried about. Well, I'm hoping it is a temporary thing, like he just struck a nerve that's just going to take a little bit longer to heal. But dang, yeah, I'm not super happy about this, and I think he might be getting me back. So, they plunked me down in the chair.
Yeah.
And I brought my AirPods and my phone. I was going to listen to a podcast while I was getting this stuff done. I asked him, I said, do you mind? Is it all right if I put my earbuds in and listen to something? Oh, yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Because this is the dentist that has the video screen right above your head, and it's just showing nothing but nature films, like slow motion water dripping off of icicles into frosty pools or something. So he's like, yeah, no problem. I said, and don't worry, I won't turn it on until you tell me it's cool to turn it on. Right, like I know that there's going to be some stuff where they want to give me some instructions and ask me, are you feeling it yet, or is it, is the Novocaine taking effect? So I said, I'll just wait until you give me the high sign that it's okay to do it. So they give me the shots and we're chit-chatting. He's like, all right, how's that feel? I says, it's definitely feeling pretty numb. He's poking me. He's like, do you feel that? I said, no, I just feel a little pressure, but I don't feel any pain. All right, cool. Yeah, you can go ahead and start listening to stuff now. Great. So my phone, which has been in my right hand the whole time, with downcast or overcast open, so I can just click a thing to start playing, and I raise my phone up to hit play just as the dentist is bending forward to adjust something on the other side of the table, or the other side of me.
Yeah.
And I clock him right in the head with my phone.
Nice. Right in the noggin. That's fantastic.
Right in the noggin. Right at the part that he's probably going to need to use for the next hour as he works on my face. Basically,
Did he swear, do anything, or he just like?
He's like, and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were going to be leaning forward. He's like, oh no, that's all right. I told you could use your phone, and so I deserve that. Like it was like a kind of shaking his head kind of thing.
So really, it actually probably stung a little bit. Probably hurt a little bit.
Enough, yeah, probably not enough to leave a mark.
Yeah, but look, you're giving back all these years of pain and poking that nervy molar.
You know what I should have said? That's going to be about $25,000 to get it fixed, but I'm sure your insurance will cover it.
You should have totally said that.
I should have. You
should have said, "Oh, are you not numb enough yet? All right, we'll give it some more time, and then whack him in the head later."
Right, exactly. Yeah, probably said, "Oh, you know what? Let me give you a few more shots in your cheek. Let's see how this goes."
That's really funny. Well, I'm glad it went well. I mean, everything's fine, right? Like the tooth's
everything's fine.
Yeah. Did you do gas or any of that? No.
I didn't. I actually asked him, or I jokingly asked him. I said, "All right, give me gas." He's like, "Well, you probably won't need it. Oh, we'll do it if you want it. Do you really want it?" I'm like, "No, I don't need it." And I didn't need it. I had 500 by midnight playing in my ears, telling me about all the cool stuff to do in Vegas, which we'll get to use in about 2 months, 2.5 months. No, 3 months basically. And the whole thing, while unpleasant, was not unbearable, right? Like, it's always way worse in your head as you're getting ready to go than it really is.
Oh, yeah.
They did have to do a dental dam, though, and I hate the dental dam thing, right?
Oh, man, it makes me feel like I need to get up and run. I hate it.
Yeah, it's weird how a little square of plastic or
rubber,
latex, rubber, it feels like it's covering your entire head, even though it's like, that big, and it's just got your little tooth sticking through, so they can do it without shavings and stuff. But I definitely noticed that the sound of that drill going in and out of my teeth sounded a lot like AOL dial-up.
Oh, wow. Wow, you've got mail. So that big rubbery thing really does put me in like an anxiety state. I almost can't do it because I feel like I'm not breathing right. I feel like I don't have control. I feel like there's a thing in there that's just not. It's hard for me to explain. It feels like being restrained in a way that I just am not comfortable with.
Totally does.
Like that's torture to me having one of those in there. So the last time I went, he had to pull it out about halfway through because I was just like, dude, I can't freaking do that thing. It's just, and I wasn't breathing good. Like I was getting a weird, like,
the breathing is the hardest part because it's that teaching your brain to not breathe through your mouth and just go through your nose. And it's like closing. Your mouth is wide open. Your mouth is saying, no, I'm wide open.
Right.
Breathe through me.
Right.
But your nose is saying, no, I got this. Yeah. Just close yourself up. Pretend you're closed.
Yeah. It's bad. I don't like it. I freaking hate it.
It really is.
Chat room says, dental dam is bad. Toothpick in the soup is fine. Gotcha. No, it's not.
Still no confession, right? No, you have not confessed to anybody?
No, I'm saving it for Thursday. I'm going to do it on the show. Your suggestion was a good one, so we're going to do that, I think. So anyway, dentists, man. They're the worst.
Dentists.
Snow and dentists. But I'm glad you got it done before you had to travel in some nightmarish mile-high snow. That would have sucked.
Oh, yeah. No, just a light dusty. I'm looking outside at the cover cam.
Yeah.
Outdoor cover cam right now shows a little bit of coldness coming in from the north coldness. Cold front, 20% drop in pressure.
I'm about to fire you for being our weatherman. I don't think you.
I know.
I don't think you're very
fired
good at
for
it.
using the phrase coldness.
there's a real coldness wave coming in.
Coldness is coming.
I don't think they teach you that in meteorology school or wherever you go.
They better not.
Yeah.
Is
that even a thing? Okay, can someone clear this up for me?
Absolutely.
I know there's meteorologists, but is it like a? Yeah. It's not a fake. It's not some big fake thing like when people say
you have to get certified to be a God. You know who would be able to tell us this is Hunts the Wind.
Oh, Hunts the Wind could tell us. Yeah.
But yeah, there's absolutely a school for meteorology where you get your license, because for a while we had we still have her. Her name is Kathy Sabin for 9 News here in Colorado, and went to a Van Morrison concert at Red Rocks, and standing behind me was another one of the weathermen from 9 News.
Yeah.
Or meteorologist from 9 News.
Yeah.
And he says, I said, oh man, totally cool. Like we got a real life meteorologist behind us, one of the meteorologists of 9 News. And he says, yeah, not like that weather Barbie, Kathy Sabin. Like this is him talking about a coworker.
Wow.
Referring to as weather Barbie.
Throwing
like
some
weather
shade.
Barbie. Yeah, she's not. She does not have her meteorologist license. She is not a licensed meteorologist.
She's just there for the eye candy. Is that the deal?
I think she has since gotten her degree, because now she does. Now she is a certified meteorologist. Oh wow! Mountain Goat Doug says she lives down here in Parker Coverville. I used to make her chai when I managed a Starbucks.
Wow!
So Mountain Goat Doug, I think she and Elway hooked up. I think that's
John Elway.
The
really?
rumor here in Colorado is that.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that says there's some scandal there. Then
God, I hope this never gets back to. I never said the meteorologist's name that said that to me at the Van Morrison concert, so I think I'm safe.
Oh, you're safe. You're good. Yeah. You're not going to get anybody fired. But the reason I bring that up is it always felt to me like there's astrology and then there's astronomy, right? And astrology is hokum. Right. And astronomy is real. And for some reason in my head, meteorology always seemed fake to me.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
Huh.
Clearly I'm wrong.
Because it's a logi and not a nami?
Maybe that was it.
Maybe if it was meteoronomy?
Yeah, meteoronomy. I like that. That's not bad.
Meteoronomy. Oh, yeah. Hey, I trust meteoronomy.
Meteoronomy was my favorite Bible in the Old Testament. The Old Testament book is so good. All about Moses and his lady friend. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So Okla Cthulhu pointed out that the University of Oklahoma has the College of Atmospheric and Geographic Sciences, the meteorology undergraduate degree program.
It sounds real.
So you can go there, get your meteorology degree, and stick your hand out a window and say, "Yep, it's raining."
Yeah, sounds real to me. That thing you just said in there.
It's real to me, Scott.
It's real to me.
Meteorology is real to me.
It's real. It's a pretty good version of that guy's voice.
Thanks.
Yeah, you've been working on that, workshopping that.
I've been workshopping that one.
It's really impressive. So one final note before we get to Battle Royale and a special sub for Brian Dunaway today. I wanted just to put this out there so that, as some of you know, there was a little kerfuffle in the Twitch chat yesterday, which I was both vaguely only superficially aware of, and then later found out went much further than I knew about. Yeah. Here's the thing I would like to say. I pay attention to the chat when I can, but mostly we're producing a show. It's hard to, right? Totally. I can't always see it. So just to give you kind of a basic of what happened yesterday, somebody in the chat who had a kind of general neutral name said something, and I said, "Oh, he, assumed it was a he." It's not. It's somebody who's trans and is no longer a he and is now a she. Well, I didn't know that. Now, after I made that comment and moved on, the chat room was correcting me, but I didn't see it because I'm making a show, as you might be aware, Brian. I'm making a show as we are here today. Yeah. Doing it again today, doing it right now. So making the show meant that my attention was not, at least at that moment, on the chat room. And our chat room's very active, so stuff got all passed, and I never saw it again. Then it turned into a whole day of Scott's misgendered me, and and other people going, no, he wouldn't do that. And other people saying, you're too sensitive. And then it became a big blow up on the Facebook thing. All of that stuff happened. Mm-hmm. And I just want to put this one little simple thing out there for future reference for anyone out there. Number one, I will always, if I put my foot in my mouth, I will always own it if I know better. And I'll own it. I always will. I'll always apologize. Yes. I'll always own it. You're not going to get any freaking excuses out of me. Secondly, I can't do a thing if I don't know a thing. So if somebody claims I'm doing a thing, you need to tell me in some way, email me, whatever, so that I know. Otherwise, just assuming that I knew is getting neither of us anywhere. So I'm just putting it out there into the ether that if somebody's offended you, 99% of the time they don't know they have. So talk to them and find out the circumstances of the quote-unquote offense, because it may turn out to be a lot more innocent than you think, instead of turning into a big nightmarish thing that ended with like 2 Twitter blocks and a bunch of bad feelings. So just floating it. I'm floating it in like Tom Selleck in that movie where he put in a floater. Remember that? He had like a little robot, and he says, "I'm sending in a floater."
Simmons, right? It was Flapjack. What was it called? Free Jack.
Free Jack. Flapjack. So you're floating in the floater, and I'm just letting it sit and simmer there, and you guys can make of that as what you want. And this is just to people who I think it's good advice generally in life. All right.
Yes.
If some lady offends you at a restaurant,
that's right. Emilio Estevez was Flapjack. Yes.
Oh, right. But if you wait, there was a Flapjack?
No, Free Jack, but I'm calling it Flapjack now. I'm just gonna commit to Flapjack.
Wait, what was it called then? Not Free Jack, or what was it called?
Runaway was the Tom Selleck.
Oh, Runaway, right? Mm-hmm. He had all those little spider robots. He was going to take over the world. Gene Simmons was.
He did indeed, yes.
Yeah, and then Tom Selleck. Whatever. He's on my TV all the time now, so.
And that was Gene Simmons, and it was Mick Jagger that was the enemy in Free Jack, which I think is why I get those two confused.
Oh, could be. But there's something about them that are also, well, they're also of the same ilk. They're kind of cut from the same.
Kind of, yeah.
80s, bad 80s action,
totally
raw material. Anyway, so there's that. All right, we're gonna do this. We're going to play. Oh, you know what? I'm so ill-prepared. I don't have this up yet. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. All right. We're going to add someone to the call.
Yes.
If I can remember how to do this. Here we go. And we're going to see if this works I believe it will. I believe
it will as well.
I believe I can fly.
You did it.
It's working. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting in for the now busy doing something else Brian Dunaway today, only today as far as I know, we have a visitor. It is Randy Jordan, all the way from beautiful Orange County, California. Randy, good morning.
Yeah, coldest day of the year here.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, what is it, like 85?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, it actually got down to freezing overnight, and it was so fun to wake up to tweets from my coworkers who are like going to the gym and like, "There's ice on my car. What is this? I don't know what's happening."
Randy, we sure could use a little more of that global warming right about now.
Right?
I imagine Trader Joe's sells ice scrapers for about $45, right? Is that how much they was charging?
No. The Trader Joe's ice scraper would be like made out of bamboo, and it would be like $1.20.
Oh,
that's right.
That sounds about right. the cost of living in California.
Man, Trader Joe's. Can you believe that they sold 5 million bottles of wine at a $2 price point over the years? Like, that's just incredible.
Because $2 Chuck is great. Now it's $3 Chuck, but it's still great wine.
Yeah,
it's not that great.
Well, it's great for the price point.
It is edible. I'll give
It'll
it that.
get you drunk.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
To me, that's great wine.
I find that Trader Joe's is awesome. We have two here in town. When we finally got one, it was like everyone celebrated in the streets. It was fantastic. And I just wish there were more of them. So whatever Trader Joe's is up to, I don't know what weird child labor they're using in some funky country where they're pumping out peanut butter at pennies a pound. But keep it up, man. Bring it on.
By the way, my wrestling finishing move was the bamboo ice scraper.
Was it? That sounds painful.
That complicated move.
Would leave your opponent in some real pain. Well, this is great. We're keeping it in the family. Of course, the film sackers all in all here. We got Randy stepping in. We appreciate that. Also, there's a pretty good mind on the end of his stem, so I'm a little worried about today's competition.
Worried?
Well, worried that I'll lose.
I was going to say, we want people to be smart, right?
Well, yes, we want that. I'm worried about my ability to perform, but we'll see. Randy's a smart guy. We'll find out.
By the way, I wanted to say one thing about the previous subject, totally, barely related to the previous subject.
Right.
And that is, I am so glad we don't do a live chat room while recording Film Sack, because it's just so distracting.
Yeah, I know. Like, ask Brian. He knows.
It is. I'm usually the one who corrects Scott and says, "Oh, Scott, no, that person's a she," or they never did that, or it was a whole different person who said that, or correct them on the pronunciation of an avatar name or something like that.
As someone who typically listens to the morning stream with the chat room up, I can tell you, I am, when I'm reading chat, I'm way more cognizant of what's going on in chat than what you two are saying.
Of course. Yeah.
So like, the people in the chat room are probably kind of the same. Like they're like, it's impossible to read and comprehend while also listening. Your ears turn off for some reason.
The human mind is incapable of the two at once, I think, is what's going on. So you're right. It's yes.
And SJ, who's in chat, actually points out that the two of you met in a Frog Pants chat room.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. Like the origins of our relationship are in on our forums. You might recall the forums from 1,000 years ago, and and talking to each other in WoW and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that forum started in 2001 and finally went away like a year and a half ago. So
back in the old BBS.
Yeah,
the old Frog Pants BBS.
We dial up with a 2400 baud and have a conversation. Well, Randy, it's fantastic to have you here. We have a caller on the line already for this competition. Hi, who's this?
Hey, it's Big Jim.
Well, hello, Big Jim. Good to have you back on. How are you?
Well, every day is a new adventure here in the wet weathered of Middle Ohio. We're getting the rain. We're not getting the snow. I'm sure that's coming from you shortly.
Yeah,
so
we'll send you.
We're happy about it.
We'll send you a little package. It's fine. We don't mind.
I appreciate it. I haven't even won the game, and you're sending me a package.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Well, right now it's just a package of friendship.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Oh, friendship. Right. Yes.
Fantastic. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being with us. Brian Ibbott, will you please explain the rules and what Big Jim could win?
Absolutely, Big Jim. I'm going to be giving Scott and Randy a topic, and they're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. No Google allowed. Your job, Jim, is to predict who is going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for games that we cannot give away, apparently.
Oh, wow.
For the fourth giveaway in a row. We have 7 Days to Die on Steam, Cities Skyline, and After Dark, the DLC. And I'm adding World of Goo, courtesy of Lois Haley. Now, it's not that these games are bad. These are awesome games. Everybody loves these games. And that's the problem, is that a lot of people who win this already have these games, or they aren't video game players or Steam players. So I think they just really want to get my email account, and they want me to offer them something else. Is usually what it comes down to. That's really what they want to do. Yeah. So those are your prizes. Jim, do you have Steam? Do you like playing video games? Let me just ask right now.
I will confess this to everyone right now. I do not have any of these games.
Oh, good.
And
Perfect.
I enjoy games.
Oh, good.
So
Perfect.
Excellent.
If this happens, if this happens and I predict correctly, the streak of the insolent games goes away.
Yeah. We can get past this dark time in our lives. It's fantastic.
Please let Cities Skyline quit circling the drain.
Yeah.
All right. Your topic today, and I should have actually had a number on this. I think I actually still have the spreadsheet up, and I can give you a number. No, I don't still have the spreadsheet up. There have been dozens, if not a couple hundred actors who have played the role Sherlock Holmes in one form or another, just on TV and in film.
All right.
I want you to go back and forth and name as many of these actors as you can. Jim, Big Jim, who would you like to go first, and who are you predicting to win?
So let me clarify something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there has also, in the 20s and 30s, there were radio dramas with Sherlock Holmes. We're not including those. It's
Now,
just
were
TV
those
and
TV or movies, Big Jim?
just making sure.
That's
because
fair.
that narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah.
It narrows it down. It's funny because I didn't have to isolate those out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Randy to win and Scott to start.
All right.
It's funny. This game could be called Name English Actors until one of us accidentally names one that hasn't accidentally ever done.
Right. Yeah, that is kind of true in this case.
Just,
hi, kitty cat.
I'm going to play the easy card here and just throw out Robert Downey Jr. to start.
That's a very good one to start with. Yes, played Sherlock Holmes starting in 2009 in a couple of films.
All right.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Very nice.
The other Marvel MCU actor to play Sherlock Holmes many times on TV since starting in 2010.
I have a recollection that Michael Caine once did.
Michael Caine did indeed play Sherlock Holmes. I really didn't sell that accent at the end while I was trying to find the year on that one. My God, really goes back far.
It should be a long time ago, I'm thinking.
Well, not that far.
I just remember some movie.
I know
or
he
something
did
because
it was, I thought in the 80s or 90s.
What if we just keep going? Like, what if this never ends?
It might never end. This is one of those
There is
questions.
a finite list, and I think at some point you are going to hit the end of it.
Look up Roger Moore in that list.
Yes, okay. Well, I will tell you Roger Moore is in this list while I'm looking for Michael Caine.
Is Michael Caine, you still haven't found him?
No, but I know he's in here because I remember when I started out with the copying the list of names, and then I sorted them by year because I thought that would make it easier because you guys would get the more recent ones.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm writing.
Brian.
What?
You have to be able to search this list, man.
Is it a paper list?
Of course it's a paper list. It's always a paper list.
Oh, weird. This is the 1930s. I love this. All right.
It's always a paper list. All right. Roger Moore played him in Sherlock Holmes in New York in 1976. Giving you that one, and I know Michael Caine is somewhere in this list, but...
All right. Let's see here. I'm going to say... Brent Spiner.
Whoa! That's an amazing reach.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big.
You know what? I I don't have him in the list, but I can't argue with it because he did play Sherlock Holmes
multiple times
in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So
I realize it's a little on the edge because it's him playing Data, playing Star Trek, playing Dr. Holmes, but I think it still fits, right? It's okay. It's all right.
It does still fit.
Okay.
Yes, it does still fit.
All right.
Because there are other examples of that in here in this list. So.
Okay, good.
I feel bad because I'm about to name someone and the name just popped into the chat, and I would like to ask chat, don't do that. I know that Christopher Lee, yes. But since they did that, I'll even name two Christophers because Christopher Plummer also played Sherlock Holmes.
Well, you can't do that. You got to pick one of them.
I got to start exhausting this massive list. So
the rule is you're not supposed to look at the chat room, but it's purely honor system. So ignore those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm going to give you. Here's the thing. You've taken two off the board. Scott might have been able to come up with one of those. So as a defensive strategy, I'm going to give you pick one of them. Scott can't use the other one. I give you Christopher Lee and Christopher Plummer. Christopher Lee in Sherlock Holmes and Leading Lady in 1991. Christopher Plummer a couple times, Murder by Decree and Silver Blaze in the 70s.
Okay. I'm getting to a weird place here where I'm starting to run out of names in my head. So I'm going to try to remember whether or not I have this correct or not, but I'm pretty sure that one of the doctors, Tom Baker, once played Dr. Holmes.
It's a good gambit to just start naming, like I say, popular TV actors that you know are British. Like, seriously.
100% is. He starred in The Hound of the Baskervilles, an adaptation of the very first Sherlock Holmes novel, 1982 in British television.
Okay. All right.
For example, I'll just take John Cleese because I know he.
Cleese? What? When did he do that? I don't remember that. That's awesome.
He did it twice. Once in 1973 for Comedy Playhouse Series 13, Elementary, My Dear Watson, and again in 1977 for The Strange Case of the End of Civilization as We Know It.
All right.
Seriously, just try naming someone that you know is born in England and did a lot of acting there. Seriously, it's amazing.
I may be at a wall.
There's a couple really obvious ones that I'm surprised you guys haven't named yet. But
Ian, that's true.
Don't say anything. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
right. Ian McKellen.
Let's see here.
Please.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Please, did he? I'm really pulling that one out of my ass. It's literally Brian. It's literally Randy's idea of just naming a British actor because I just feel.
There we go. Yes, 2015, Mr. Holmes. He absolutely did. Yes.
Woo!
Oh, there it is, right there. It's like the fourth one down on my list here. So very good, Ian McKellen.
All right.
I'm taking your advice, and I'm just going with I'm realizing there's some really obvious answers we haven't given, like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell last year
just played the role. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. That terrible new thing that everyone hates.
That's right. Yep.
Geez. Well, then
you look at that and you say, is there any hope that that's any good? Is there any reason to expect?
You know what? Netflix is streaming The Interview again, and I just rewatched it a couple days ago, and that movie's really good. And I was thinking, these guys, these comedy duos, this modern thing, it can work. You know, you just have to have a well-written film. Seriously, go if you didn't ever watch The Interview, or if you only watched it when it was a scandal a couple years ago, go rewatch it. It's really funny.
It's the whole reason that that Black Sheep was such a disappointment, because we fully expected Farley and Spade to become the next was it Sinatra and Crosby or whoever it was that did the road movies.
And I disagree with you. I love Black Sheep, and I love it because it's just enough of the magic from Tommy Boy that it hits my funny bone. It's like Tommy Boy was so good that it's almost like the leftovers of Tommy Boy is fine. I'm good. That's good enough. We've given Scott all the time in the world.
We really have, yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm struggling here. Frank Langella.
Wow.
Wow. What?
That's a deep pull.
He's not British, but.
And it's an accurate poll. Yes, Frank Langella.
What? Really? I completely pulled that out of my butt. Are you serious?
1981 in Standing Room Only, Sherlock Holmes, a television play for HBO in 1981.
I was sure I was done right then.
Oh, my God.
I know.
You must have been. It was funny because I was reading through the list to say, oh, here are some ones, because I won't read the whole list when we're done. There are a few that I'm going to call out and say, here's the ones you wouldn't expect have played Sherlock Holmes, Frank Langella.
You know what? You know why it came to my head at all? Is because Randy said something about the interview, and in my head I was thinking about Frost v. Nixon, and then I thought of Frank Langella. It's just I couldn't help but go there. All right, Randy.
Good.
Well, I don't know if Scott's kind of giving it to me here, but I have to make sure and name all of my parents' generations Sherlock Holmes, which was Basil Rathbone. That guy must have been Sherlock Holmes for 40 years.
What the hell is that? I don't even know who that is.
Basil Rathbone, probably the most famous actor to play. Well, the most famous. No, let me.
The most consistent,
actor most connected with playing. Sherlock Holmes for about 20 films in the 50s.
Yeah.
Starting in 1953, Basil Rathbone. Yeah.
I played bass for Rathbone in the 90s. They were awesome. All right, I'm going to go with, let's think of another old guy with a big head.
Scott's throwing darts. Here we go.
Who played the... Oh, no, not the Emperor. Who am I thinking? You may fire when ready. Hold on.
Yes, you're correct. I know for a fact that one's gonna. This is fitting my assertion. If you just name someone who did a lot of stage acting in England, come on.
They made a CGI version of it, and everyone hated it. His name is Peter O'Toole. No, Peter. Not O'Toole.
Oh.
No. Cushing, Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing, absolutely. Played Sherlock Holmes several times. 1984 is The Masks of Death. Let's see. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes in 1968. Yeah, he played, The Hound of the Baskervilles in 1959. Peter Cushing has played Sherlock Holmes a lot, so very good.
That one hurt.
Yeah.
All right, Randy.
Hurt me.
I'll bet Peter Cook also played Sherlock Holmes.
You would think, right?
Peter Cook. Who's Peter Cook?
Yeah, get Peter in mind. Just a common 60s, 70s TV British actor.
He did in 1978 for yet another adaptation of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Wow, dude. This is insanity.
I'm telling you, just go, name something. It's so fun. Actually, you know what
Basil
though?
Rathbone, I should say 1939. Jeannie's gonna correct me on how early Basil Rathbone played.
You know what though? You want to name someone who's dashing. For some reason, they never cast a Simon Pegg as Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, wait till you see this list.
But you know what I'm saying? You want to name someone who's really good looking. That's one of the keys to this game.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with. He's British and he's good looking, but he's also. This is a pull out of the sky. So, good luck to me on this one. The actor Mark Strong.
Oh yeah, Mark Strong. I know exactly who you're talking about.
You could see him in one of those hats. You could see him with the pipe. I'm telling you, he should be him if he isn't.
Scott.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry.
Great guess.
Gosh dang it!
No Mark Strong.
That means I gotta.
Oh no!
Congratulations.
And that also means
you're a winner.
Big Jim finally takes these damn codes off our hands, which is good. So congratulations.
Randy, did you have another one in the pipeline?
Yeah. What'd you got?
Boy, I was getting really low. I was gonna start naming people I was gonna start naming people maybe not. Maybe I don't. I may not have another.
I was going to throw out Hugh Grant, maybe, and maybe Patrick Stewart. Those were the only two that.
Oh right. Patrick Stewart. I was trying to come up with P names for some reason, like Peter.
Right? You'd think Patrick Stewart. would have done it at some point. No, Patrick Stewart has never done it.
How about the
and
one
Hugh
I screwed up? Peter O'Toole. Did he do it?
Peter O'Toole is, yeah.
Shit!
You could have guessed a bunch of Peters, like Peter Lawford, Peter O'Toole, and Peter Capaldi. Again, sticking with the thing that just guess doctors.
Just go with all the Peters.
Right. Is Chris Eccleston on that list?
No, Chris Eccleston.
Oh, he'd be good.
But here's some other ones. You could have said Johnny Lee Miller, who still is playing Sherlock Holmes on the TV show Elementary. Michael York.
Wait, Johnny Lee Miller from Hackers? That guy?
Yes, he's been playing Sherlock Holmes on Elementary for 6 years.
News to me. Never heard of that show. I don't know what that is.
Jonathan Pryce, Rupert Everett. Okay. Here's one that's really
Rupert
fun.
Everett isn't English, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's English. Sure.
Okay.
Here's someone who isn't, and is a really surprising pull. Matt Frewer. Max Headroom has been playing Sherlock Holmes since 2002 on Canadian television.
What the crap? Wait, in a regular role, he's still doing it?
Yeah, like five or six Canadian TV movies.
What the heck?
I'm gonna go find that.
Yeah. That's really weird.
I can't believe you pulled out Frank Langella. That was an amazing pull.
It's just completely out of the North
And
Pole.
just one last one, just because it's another one that'll have you shaking your head. Milton Berle in 1949 played Sherlock Holmes in The Mystery of the Sen Sen Murder.
That must have been... It was probably goofy, though, right? He wasn't being serious in that. There's
Absolutely
no way.
Had to be, yeah.
He doesn't... I can't think of anything. Do you know that guy? It was rumored that he had a giant wiener. You guys ever hear about that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's like the
big
Hollywood legend.
Yeah, a huge wiener.
I guess if you're gonna have a legend about you, that's probably a pretty good one to have.
I just saw Matt Frewer last night. I was watching part of Hercules with my daughter, and he's one of the little demon things that helps out Hades the whole movie. And I said to her, "Hey, Max Headroom." I should have just said that because it was on my mind. I would have gotten it like my Frank Langella magic from heaven. Gosh dang it! All right, well done.
Yeah, no Alec Guinness either, which is also really surprising.
Alec, who? What? Who said Alec
Guinness? Alec Guinness.
Oh, someone in the chat said. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. You distracting bunch of freaks in the chat room.
Well, I'm just.
Hugh Grant.
What are you doing?
Hugh Grant would have been interesting.
Hugh Grant would have been interesting. Yeah.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
It's weird. I still think of him as like being about 30 years old, and he's not, is he? He's kind of getting into his middle ages.
Oh yeah, he's totally getting up there. He was in one of the Oscar movies recently, wasn't he?
He does stuff.
Oh, yeah, he was.
This year or last year?
He's busy.
Wow,
doing
he's
things.
58. Oh man, that hurts.
Yeah, he's pushing. He's just about to be a fifth wedding. No, wait. Sorry, 4 weddings and 2 funerals. There you go. That's what I meant.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, not the wedding part.
Yeah, I can't find his. Oh, here we go. Hugh Grant filmography. It was A Very English Scandal. That's right. Yeah, it's like a current thing. Not an Oscar, but a Golden Globes nomination.
Paddington 2 also. He's in that.
Sure.
Chat room says. Well, all right. Well done. You got to send an email to Brian, though. Coverville@gmail.com. He will hook you up with those codes. Congratulations again. And Randy, what a pleasure, as my dad would say, it was having you here today.
I know.
It was great.
You guys are so great.
We should have you sub. We'll have you sub more often when Dunaway has a thing. Because I think that'd be fun.
I'm always happy to do it.
Aww.
And by the way, I was trying to give you a chance to throw me out, like while I'm stammering,
You're just waiting to go. Okay, bye.
He's waiting for. By the way, let me tell you about and joint.
He's out of there. All right. That was fun. Let's do the news, which is this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news, brought to you by
Coverville, where today you're going to hear a cover story for a guy whose name you might not recognize. When you think of songs like The Locomotion and Go Away Little Girl and stuff by the Shirelles and the Chiffons and all that stuff in the 60s, you think of Carole King, right?
Sure.
You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Well, she was music to this guy's lyrics. Jerry Goffin was actually the lyric writer for a lot of those songs, and he doesn't get enough credit. He would have had a birthday this week. We're celebrating anyway, so songs like You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, Up on the Roof, I'm Into Something Good, Will You Love Me Tomorrow, The Locomotion, Pleasant Valley Sunday, so many great songs that he had a hand in. That is going to be today, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, the only time zone that matters, twitch.tv/Coverville.
I like your the way you ran those first two song titles together. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, Up on the Roof.
Up on the Roof.
Yeah.
Yes. That would be a great pairing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, mash those up. Let's get that going. We're going to choose a couple here because we're a little low on time. So I'm going to start with this one. Hey, Colorado, I'm sure you've heard this on your local news.
Yes, we've been hearing about this on the news constantly, which is great.
Kind of a big deal. But anyway, Colorado runner killed a mountain lion in self-defense. This headline doesn't really get into what a badass this guy is, but a trail jogger, not a jail trogger, in Colorado successfully defended himself against a mountain lion that attacked him from behind. The cat is now dead, and the man is recovering in a local hospital. The jogger, whose identity has not been released, was running alone in the foothills of the Horsetooth Mountain Park in northern Colorado. Mm-hmm. When he said he heard something behind him on the trails, he turned to investigate. The juvenile mountain lion lunged. The jogger said he was bitten on the face and wrist, according to a statement from the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. But he was able to fight back, killing the young mountain lion. The man's injuries were serious, but not life-threatening, and he was able to get himself to a local hospital. The man killed the animal by suffocating it, according to Colorado Parks and Wildlife Northeast Region. Exactly how he did so wasn't immediately clear. I feel a little bad that a wild animal died. However, this is a raw-ass species on species fight, man.
It is. Yeah, this is, and the fact that he did it unaided, right? Yeah. No weaponry.
Yeah. It's impressive.
Like it was him, or it was basically him or the lion.
Yeah.
In this
it's
situation.
An unusual attack. So. Mountain lions aren't known for this sort of attack. We have them here as well. It doesn't happen very often. They kind of keep to themselves and stay away from people, but this one must have been I don't know, feeling its oats or something. And when they say juvenile, I don't know what they mean. Like, how young is juvenile? I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know. But this is an area that when I did my MS-150 bike ride last year, I went by this trail. Like I was alongside this trail for a little bit. So, and I was out there alone, man. I was out there alone.
If you had to fight a mountain lion, what would your tactic be? What would your strategy be?
Ooh. That's a good question. Well, I do my finishing move, which is the chokehold. Nice. No, I mean, I think that would be it, because it would lunge at you, paws forward, mouth open kind of thing. Mm. So in a completely action film sequence world, it would be me uppercut to between the paws, up the chin, then arm around the neck, and basically holding him with his paws away from me so he couldn't scratch me.
Yeah.
But we all kind of know that that's not how it would really look.
No, probably not. It's an intense thing, though. So I guess good on this guy, and well done, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, we're all humans here. We're rooting for that side, I suppose, in this particular fight. But also, don't go up in the mountains and shoot those things, because they're nice, and they were here first. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the thing. If he would have shot it, then there would be a question of like, well, was that thing really attacking him, or did you just shoot it because he saw it and shot it? Mm. But the fact that it was kind of one-on-one, you don't start something with a mountain lion. The mountain lion starts it with you.
Yeah, and finishes it most of the time.
Yeah. J.C. Calhoun says, would you rather fight one mountain lion-sized house cat or 100 house cat-sized mountain lions?
Jeez.
I think I'd rather fight one mountain lion-sized house cat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because I could run. I don't know. It's either going to be a quick death or I can get out of there. Yeah, which either are preferable than being swarmed by a bunch of tiny ones.
The Zerg rush is real.
Yeah,
we don't need the Zerg rush of little cat-sized mountain lions.
Not into that, it turns out. Finally, here a fisherman has used a dead shark as a bong, and then played the tune "Baby Shark." Do you know the Baby Shark song?
Only because of Nicole. The only reason I know the Baby Shark song is because of Nicole.
Yeah.
Because Mateo loves it, apparently.
I sometimes you hear somebody do something dumb on like what's one of those apps? Well, like Instagram, you'll find videos where somebody's using that as the backing track, or that TikTok service has it. Once in a while, I'll see it show up on that thing you told me about. That what is it? Neverthink.
Neverthink. Yeah. It's funny. I've seen a ton of Shaggy. I've seen a ton of. That's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Ah!
Yeah. So sick of that Shaggy thing. I could watch that girl one and the remixes of that all day because it's funny as crap.
I can't do it because there's so many great ones, like the things that they have her doing.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. It's the kind of meme that makes you want to make your own, but I don't know how they. I don't know how they removed all the background stuff, so I don't want to go through the work.
One pixel at a time.
It's a bunch of work. Anyway, so this person, stoners, they can be creative, and when it comes to new ways to create bongs to get high, boy, aren't they? This method seems a little extreme, though, but they insist they were only smoking tobacco, which is fine, but used a dead shark to smoke it is perhaps a little ill-advised. They didn't put the video was up, but they got rid of it. I don't know why, but the video's down. The unidentified fisherman was filmed inhaling smoke from a shark, which had 2 tubes protruding from its head and its back. In the background of the song, you have the song "Baby Shark" can be heard playing. Some suggested that the man inhaling the smoke may be the product of incest, while others have said, "You're off your head." Is that a thing to say? You're off your head?
You're off your head.
It's British. It's got to be
It
British.
doesn't sound like an American thing you'd say.
Yeah, Australian.
But this is the UK. This is UK.
I think it's Australia, isn't it? Australia.
This is metro.co.uk.
Oh, you're right. It is. I think they may be Australian, though. Oh, wait. Fried Fishing Australia.
Fried Fishing Australia, yes.
Let's see. The shark was caught by a male fishing when we were fishing for mangrove jacks on Friday. What the hell?
We were fishing for mangrove jacks on Friday.
What the hell are those?
Mangrove jacks, they're fish about the size of a VW microbus.
I'm going to look them
up. And they'll
up.
kill you with their eyes if you look at them.
I'm going to look it up.
If they make eye contact with you, you're dead.
Let's see if it's like a fish. Is it? Let's see. Mangrove jacks. What is this? Oh, it is a fish. Okay. Oh, geez, they're big and ugly.
A mangrove jack ate my entire family once. I had to get a new family.
There they are, chat room. Look at that fish. That is a monster. That is ugly as hell. These are gross. This is an ugly fish.
Mangrove jacks are?
Yeah, but they look like they would feed 50 people. They're huge. Yeah, that's a mangrove jack. Anyway, so I guess they caught a shark while they were at it. Decided to smoke it because why not? It's freaking 2019. Let's go ahead and smoke a shark.
That's not a fish. This is a fish.
That's not a mangrove jack. All right, we are going to take a break. When we come back, Tom's Tech Time, recommendals, and more, as we often say. But before we get to that, a song break with Brian Ibbett. What do we have today?
We've got a tune. Let's go to Finland. Let's go to Helsinki, Finland, to an indie pop band started by Tom Makila. He's been playing in other bands. He's been a part of a band called The Crash and Magenta Sky Code. Again, I love band names. You could just name a bunch of things and tell me their band names. I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah, he played for Mangrove Jack back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. He left those bands, though, to start a solo project called Since November because he was interested in space and writing songs that had kind of a space theme. This is the follow-up to his first single, which was called Star System. I've been listening to this all morning. It's great. It is called First Final Frontier. The band is Since November. You can find them at sincenovember.com and listen to more of their stuff. Here is First Final Frontier.
The battle to sell home video recorders is now stronger than ever. These are the new models. Many of them won't be on sale until this spring. And they will offer playing times of up to, in the case of this machine, 8 hours on one cassette of tape.
I assume if I was soy intolerant... Oh, no, I dropped it.
The Morning Stream. That's my safety word.
And we're back, everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, that was that clip from the other day.
Yeah, I forgot to remind you. Did you find that clip from episode 285 of us talking about is Pepsi okay?
I couldn't find 285, and it's really weird because I have every single TMS episode except for that file. Oh, you know what I didn't check is the old RSS feed.
It's almost like a large company with a lot of pull struck that episode and any evidence of it from the record.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Actually, no, I didn't. The only place I didn't check is the old RSS. Let me just see real quick if it's in there.
Okay.
Oh, I might have it. Let's see. Morning Stream 285. That was on 7/30/2012. Okay. Oh my gosh, I may have. Oh, it may not be on this site anymore. Let's find out. I'm gonna just play it. See if it plays. Is it gonna play? It is. Okay, hold on.
All right.
Maybe. This is the morning stream for Monday, July 3rd. Okay, that's how we used to do it different.
Yeah.
Let's do. Okay, let me turn that down. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead. Talking his need for a VO, a little bit of VO for some. And how far in do we know? Do we know how Olympics?
far
I got
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
5 minutes 30 seconds. That's 50 minutes. Hold on. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start right at the 5 mark. Okay.
Okay.
So right at 5. And we'll play from then on. Great clips. Well, no, I guess that's I don't know what that is. But anyway, so these guys, so I understand how they feel though. The rest of the world uses small, medium, and large, but because this one super popular chain has these stupid names for things. But you know what? Starbucks is smart. That's how you retain customers. It's like McDonald's and supersizing. You just say it everywhere.
Right. Well, I'll bet you the Burger King gets plenty of people who walk up and say, "I'd like a Happy Meal."
Mm-hmm.
You know, they intend to say kids meal, or they're implying the kids meal, but it's it's probably a Happy Meal, or maybe McDonald's gets people who say kids meal.
Plus, Pepsi's perpetually just irritated because everyone just orders a Coke whether they want one or not.
Right. Pepsi's new slogan should be, "Is Pepsi okay?"
Yeah. Did it. We did it. You did it, Brian. Well,
right
there's
there.
no question.
2012 that was?
Yeah, 2012 7. I give you the date. It was 7 it was July 30th, 2012. You came up with that.
There it is right there. July 20th, 2012.
All right. Take that, world. That's fantastic.
I'll take my compensation check now, Pepsi. Thank you.
Yeah, well done. All right. Where the heck were we? That was exciting to hear that.
That was. I'm glad it went right into it too.
Yeah, confirmed. All right, time for us to look back. No, look forward to this.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
The man is Tom Merritt. He's back from Hawaii, and he's here with us today. Tom, welcome back.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me back.
We missed you horribly.
It's Tom American style.
Right.
Did you listen?
Yeah.
I did. I totally listened. I listened live and saw how tan and relaxed you were. And it looks like you haven't even taken off that hat since last night.
Slept in it. Very comfy hat.
It's a very cool hat. I think it makes Tom look so edgy. I love it. I think it's a good look.
Also, it's one of those things where it's a ridiculous Los Angeles thing to be wearing this hat right now because, it's 50 degrees out.
Yeah. But, whatever. Relative cold, right? Like you're used to whatever you're used to. My sister-in-law comes here from Phoenix during the summer, and she has to wear a jacket while the rest of us are dying in 90-degree heat. She just, it's just the way it is. Whatever your body's acclimated to.
Yeah.
But
my best story about that is I was in San Francisco. I was working at CNET, and a friend of mine was coming in from Chicago, and he was like, "Hey, I'm parked downstairs." I'm like, "Great." And so I come down in my big raincoat, like long raincoat and stocking cap. And he hops out of his car in shorts and a t-shirt because he's from Chicago. He's like, and we start laughing at each other. Like, why are you dressed like that?
Yeah. Well, that's,
that would be the same way. Like if I were to visit right now, I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's so warm and balmy and gorgeous here."
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you back, and I don't know. There felt like there was a Tom-sized hole on Wednesdays. I didn't like it. It was weird.
That's I almost tried. I don't know. I almost said something that would have sounded like a humble brag. Like,
yeah. Well, look, you're filling it. You're filling that hole just fine now, and that's what matters.
Thank you.
So
perfect.
What's happening in the world of technology today as we lead into another Daily Tech News show?
Well, if I may, I'd like to mention two things because I found two very positive stories. I think, anyway.
Okay.
One is we're mining an asteroid.
What?
We meaning humans. Japan's Hayabusa 2 probe is about to land on the surface of the asteroid Ryugu, February 22nd, in order to collect samples and bring them back to Earth.
Whoa, that is positive. I think it's positive, right? We want to be
I mean, yeah, this is for science. They're not going to be like starting up mining operations or anything, but
right.
We are technically going to be mining an asteroid. The asteroid is made of nickel, iron, cobalt, water, nitrogen, hydrogen, and ammonia.
Will it feature? Is it
what a growing meteor needs? A growing.
Is it like Ben
Asteroid.
Affleck up there?
Growing asteroid needs.
Is it Ben Affleck and who was in Armageddon? I guess Bruce Willis. Are they all up there?
Yes, the Japanese versions of Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis.
This sounds like it's an anime version of Armageddon. Finally, the one we never asked for. We're finally getting it.
It's Bruce Willis just with bigger eyes.
That's super cool. Now, to what end is this? Like, if they the scientific, obviously, there's a lot to learn. But I mean,
yeah.
Do we get
absolutely?
Do we get to a place where we can?
This will be able to. I mean, you know, it's one thing to view the asteroid and say we think it has all those things. It's another thing to bring back material and find out, you know, some exact percentages and ionic makeups and there's all kinds of things that they can tell about history of the universe and the age of the solar system when you're able to directly observe a sample like that.
And remind me, the Expanse books seem to like this idea of mining water for the Belters.
Yes, this is how the Belters begin.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You start to find all these resources.
First, it's the Hayabusa 2 probe bringing back a little bit of nickel. Next thing you know, everybody's living in Io.
Yeah, dude, all stretched out and gangly looking. They can't go on Earth.
Yeah.
The what do you call the gravity's too hard on Earth now and all that. I love that. So now we're at the beginning of it. It's fantastic. Now you said there were two of these. That's a very positive story. I like it, but what's number
that's
two?
A positive story. Second positive story is more down to earth. The New York Times reported net income of $55.2 million, driven by revenue of $709 million from its digital business, and it now has an all-time high number of journalists employed at 1,600. So you keep hearing how newspapers are dying. The newspaper journalism is dying. Yeah. This is a nice bit of bright news amongst all of that dour prognostication.
There's also
I can't remember who keeps saying it, but somebody keeps talking about the failing print journalism.
Well, the president keeps calling the New York Times a failing New York Times.
I know, Tom. I'm joking about not knowing who said it. Come on now.
Yeah, he was trying to sneak that one in there. But yeah, no,
that was less of my point than just the general feeling of, hey, you know, the journalism, it may survive. It may do just fine.
It might be okay.
Yeah. and in fact, you know, a lot of people are taking the chance to point out that BuzzFeed had layoffs, Vice had layoffs. So the new digital new media business, you know, hitting some rocky problems. I think it's exaggerated to say, oh, the ad-driven model is dead. I think tech journalism has shown that the ad-driven model is just fine if you have the right audience. But, you know, New York Times has a paywall, and it certainly hasn't killed them. In fact, they're doing quite well.
Yeah, you could argue there's a bit of saturation going on the website of it, and that we were maybe heading to, not a bubble necessarily, but kind of heading toward a time where you'd have to make some adjustments. There are a billion voices now trying to vie for our attention. Like something kind of had to give. And so big, stalwart, tentpole names in journalism, like the New York Times, been here forever, weather that stuff pretty well. And not only weather it, in this case, capitalize on it, and they're doing good. So
thrive from it.
Yeah. I do find this to be a super positive story because of that. And my opinion for a long time has been the problem was caused as much by the typical things around digital, you know, transitions where you had to move ad money from print to digital. And in fact, digital now makes up more than 50% of the New York Times advertising revenue for the first time. That's another interesting note here. But the other thing that the web did was put everybody competing against each other. I've said, you know, I apologize to those who've heard me say this before, but you no longer had TV news doing TV news, radio news doing radio news, and print doing print. Now everybody's doing everything.
Yeah.
So even just on your local level, suddenly you went from I watch a TV news and I read a newspaper and I listen to the radio, to on the web, they're all doing all of it.
Yeah, it's all in
and
one.
suddenly you just multiplied your competitors for the same space. That is also happening on an international level, and more on an international level, because we tend, probably to our own detriment, to focus on national and international news over local news. And so not only did you have this happening on a local level, but suddenly maybe you weren't turning to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch for your international news. You'd be reading the New York Times, or you'd be reading the BBC, so everybody's competing with everyone. And it's taken decades, literally, for that to start to shake out.
Yeah. Something interesting happened here locally, I think. Anyway, I was just thinking about the other day. We have an NBC affiliate here called KSL, Channel 5, and they do, it's the NBC channel, obviously, but that's, the local news is Channel 5 Eyewitness News and all of that. And they expanded pretty early in the web stuff, early 2000s, and were ahead of the curve in some ways. So in some ways, yes, they were super into let's get stuff digitally and let's ride this early wave of journalism online, but also they started this like exchange trade thing that I think predated eBay and certainly Craigslist, and is now still locally. If you say, oh, I've got to get rid of this couch, or I need to find a couch, or I got to sell my car, or I want to buy a phone or whatever, there are now a million services for that. eBay is one of them, Craigslist, and a million apps. But here in our area, or certainly in Salt Lake and most of the valley anyway, most of the state, you go to KSL for this stuff, and you look up local stuff, and it's super interesting how that kind of evolved out of it. So in a weird way, they've got more plates spinning as a result of the I don't like to call it the digital revolution, but the move to the web and everything, and it's both awesome and kind of cool, but also a little precarious. Like if some bottom drops out of one of those markets, you're kind of left holding the bag if you've really invested in one of those things. And so,
and classified advertising is what local newspapers were over reliant on for years.
Right.
I don't know if the kids out there remember, but before Craigslist, where you could post everything for free, if you went to the newspaper to put in a classified, they charge you $10 per word sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it was expensive to put in a classified ad, but it was really the only way to sell your couch or your used car if you wanted to do it yourself. And then Craigslist sort of broke that, and because of the over-reliance, like you're talking about, Scott, that really hurt a lot of newspapers and made it harder for them to make this transition.
Sure. I never trust those local things, and this is a me problem, because I always think I'm going to end up tied up in the back of a white van somewhere, so I never do them.
As much as I want to say, come on, Scott, that rarely happens, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I just feel like I need.
I know it's an irrational feeling, but yeah, part of me is like, sure, but I'll be the one. Yeah.
I either need an anonymity wall between me and the transaction, or I need a established sort of retail border that I can go into and make a transaction in a way that feels like the normal way to do it. For me to call some dude and find out, it's just behind the house in my chicken coop, come on back and we'll take it. I don't know.
Around
it's
here in this dark corner.
It's skeevy to me. I don't know
why.
It's really weird. But anyway, these are very feel good stories, and
anybody in Salt Lake City talk like that?
No, nobody does.
Sure.
No, I've made that.
It does sound like people like them.
Yeah, it sounds like the people my wife's from. That's a very Mississippi thing. But later today, these stories.
I'm gonna go down to South Jordan. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Freaking! I live in South Jordan. It sounds like
all that snow roached my car.
Yeah. Roached my car? I've never heard that before. Tell me about that. What's roach? Is that an old Illinois thing? Southern Illinois thing to say?
Yeah, that's something people said when I was growing up.
Roached my
his car's
car.
roached. Carburetor gone.
That's awesome. What would we say? Hold on. Back then it was. Well, we'd say toast is. We'd say toast a lot.
Yeah, we'd say that too.
Yeah. But roached is cool.
It's pretty much the same thing as toast. Yeah.
I think roached is cool. I like yours better. Today, that's 2:30 Mountain Time. I'll be there, and we'll be talking the latest and greatest in tech news, including these stories. Tom, anything else going on this week before you want to go?
Why, yes, indeed. It's a Thing is back. And if you like to hear Molly Wood and I talk about stuff, technology or otherwise, quite often otherwise. Quite often when Molly and I did Buzz Out Loud, the otherwise was the more entertaining part to begin with anyway. So it's all the otherwise on it'sathing.me. Check it out. We've been doing episodes since December. And we've got some good stuff in store this weekend because Molly and I both just got back from Hawaii. So we have a little tropical flavor to our things this week.
Oh, very nice. I didn't know she went. But you guys, were you talking about something to do with something weird you saw over there? What was it? You told me. You hinted at it.
Silver Jeeps.
Oh,
Silver
yeah,
Jeeps.
Silver Jeeps.
Yeah, we will explain the Silver Jeep phenomenon, which I just found hilarious as I was driving around that like every third car was a silver Jeep, and Molly actually discovered that there's a real trend there that is causing that. So we'll explain it.
Yeah,
it's a thing.me.
I got to tune into that. That's awesome.
That's like your local news.
Yeah.
Are silver Jeeps taking over? Find out Friday.
What's in your garage that's going to kill you later? Find out.
Will a silver Jeep kill you? I don't know. Tune in Friday.
Maybe. I don't know is a great thing for a journalist
I don't know.
to say. I don't know.
We'll find out together at 11.
All right, Tom, take it easy. We'll see you later. Ace Detect on Twitter, everybody. So check him out. Okay.
All right.
Nicole is coming in. Coming in hot. Whoop. Why did it do that? Let's fix that. There we go. Coming in hot, everybody. Hey, Nick, is that you? Oh, Carter, is that you? You don't have work today? Oh, because of the snow. Yeah, never mind.
It was like the first thing you talked about this morning.
I know, I forgot already. And then I just look out the window here and I'm like, oh, yeah. Hideous amounts of snow everywhere you look. I think Nicole, are you there? No?
Nicole?
I don't see her yet. She's been added, but she ain't talking. I'm gonna save the show right here. That way, I can save the home user from having to hear us wait for her to show. Let's do that real quick here. Okay. Let's add her to the call again. All right. See if we can get her in here. Are you writing the great next American novel over there?
I am. I'm actually responding to an email from the person that we're waiting to hear from. So, yes, I want to get the thing that we're waiting for. And she emailed me, and so I was like, all right, if we're waiting on Nicole, I'm going to type something up.
Yeah. Nicole, is that
you? It was
you?
a dark and stormy night.
Oh, I see her now. I see her now. Hold on. Let me...
I hear.
I both hear and see.
Here I am. Here I am.
Hi, I hear you. Here's this. All right, let's talk to Nicole Spag. Hi, how are you?
Hi, it's snowing here.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's coming
is
to your way.
Is it snowing up there, Brian?
Oh. It totally is. A light dusting, but it is coming down. Did you guys have fog down south?
Oh, yeah. It's very foggy.
Very foggy.
You know, I just realized something.
What?
I'm on 2 podcasts with Tom Merritt, and I never talked to him.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Right.
Are
you talking about the Monday thing too?
Yeah.
Because he's always
why
doing.
Why are we calling it the Monday thing?
He does.
I guess we can reveal the fact that it's America's Next Top Podcaster. It's not a secret anymore.
It's not a secret anymore. The first episode's out.
Yeah. 2 very different roles though, but yeah, you're right. You guys kind of pass on the night, just like you do here.
Yeah.
Pass in the morning. That's true.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll pull you in together. We'll do some kind of movie tech talk or something, and just do a little combo.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, why not? I'd be down with that.
Did I email you, Brian, or are you talking about somebody else? I heard you saying you were gonna do something while you were for me.
He's talking about
something else.
Something else.
Okay, I was like, did I send you? I'm all over the place lately.
You're not the only woman in my life, Nicole.
It's got a couple.
No, I'm like all over the place. You ever get like that where you're just so frenzied? And you're just you're like, I don't know if I'm coming, I don't know if I'm going. Whatever you tell me I did, okay.
Well, that's why I feel like in this weather, I just want to lay on the couch. Like honestly, doesn't that sound nice? Just plop down on the couch, play games, chill out, not think about anything. I would love to do that today, but you know what? Wednesdays are terrible. I can't do that today.
Yeah,
I have stuff all day, so forget that dream. That'll have to wait till like Sunday. That's fine.
Yeah. See, today was one of those days where just nothing, like the dog pooped in my closet, the other dog puked in the stair.
Dougie was the one who pooped in the closet because that is a total Dougie thing.
Here's the crazy thing about Dougie. I was putting my makeup on. I see him run into my closet, and not 2 seconds later, he runs out. There was not enough time for him to poop in my closet.
I think he was prairie dogging as he was running in there. Like it was,
it was crazy.
Half out of the dog.
Dog. Oh my God.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's fun to deal with in the morning.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Mine has a habit right now of waking up at like 5 in the morning to pee, and I don't know why she's choosing to do that at 5. Rainer could go till noon. She doesn't care. She'll hold her pee, but Boomer, she's got.
Oh, you got another dog?
Oh yeah, I've had her for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't.
I guess she's still a puppy, but she's the one that we had surgery for and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Nick's dog.
Yes. Boomer, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and she's so I say Nick's dog, but guess who's up at 5 o'clock taking her out?
Exactly.
He's not the one getting up at 5.
No.
When the person that is your house pet gets a house pet, it's still your house pet.
Yeah. It's all about the house. It's whoever has the deed to the home is the one who takes care of the effing dog. We love her though. She's awesome, so I'm not complaining. And by the way, I guess a little update. She's still limping quite a bit, but the doctor said like 8 weeks to totally heal. But she's doing okay. She's doing good.
Good.
And she's a sweet little freaking little turd. We like her a lot. Except when she eats some other dog's poop. Anyway, hey, let's do a show about, or let's do a segment. Yeah, why not? Recommendals, everybody. It's where we talk about stuff we've seen on streaming services and then either recommend them or tell you to not watch them sometimes. Sometimes that happens. Today is going to be a weird one for me. But we're going to start with Brian's clip. Any setup for this?
2018 is all I'm going to tell you. So something relatively new. And there's a big hint in the audio. If you haven't seen this, you might get it just based on the audio.
All right, here we go.
Callahan approaches from the left. Engage no contact protocol. No hand shall touch my body. Mental note. Bob slapped Hoagie with his hand. Hoagie is now it.
Oh, it's tag.
Chilly. He dashed at me in a pussy-like fashion. Poor planning. Poor execution. Piece of cake. I head for the door to escape. Sable blocks it. It's showtime. Hoagie is tagged Sable. He is now fair game. I speedbag him.
So are they offended by what they see?
Sorry, that's continued on to some other stuff.
Oh my God, that was like a good transition.
Yeah.
Yep, Nicole, you nailed it. It is Tag. Movie came out last year, and that is Jeremy Renner. That's Hawkeye. You're hearing there doing the voiceover. The thoughts going through his head.
It's kind of weird that he's in this movie because it's like a goofball movie, right?
It is. I mean, it's basically like. What is the current group of these guys called? Right? It's not the Brat Pack or the Rat Pack. It's the one that's got Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly and Ed Helms and Bradley Cooper, like that group of people. And that feels like it's like, all right, these are all that group of people except for Jeremy Renner, who like walked into the wrong studio, but fits perfectly in this role. The movie's Tag based on a true story about a group of guys who are still playing tag, who have a constant game of tag for 30 years. It was in the Wall Street Journal, and then it was based on a book called It Takes Planning and Caution to Avoid Being It. It is Frat Pack. Okay, so this is considered, these guys are considered the Frat Pack. This is one that Tina was saying, you know what, I'm glad we didn't pay $15 to see this in the movie theater, but I'm glad we watched it because it is really, really funny and it's really well done. Great
Where's it
lineup.
streaming?
It is streaming on HBO.
Okay.
Ed Helms, Jake Johnson, Hannibal Buress, Isla Fisher, and John Hamm and Jeremy Renner are the group of friends. But you also get Annabelle Wallis, who longtime listeners of TMS would know that we have kind of a little crush on Annabelle Wallis from when she played. What was the woman's name? Basically, it was Tommy's wife on Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, she's great on there.
She is great.
Yeah.
She plays a reporter who is following this group to get the story. Yeah, it's great. It is a lot more fun than we expected it would be. Knowing kind of like Ed Helms is kind of like the baseline denominator for these movies, right? You think, all right, it's going to be like a hangover film or a game night or one of those kind of things. No, this is really good. And Game Night, by the way, was also another good one. If you haven't seen Game Night, that's another really good one to see. Very similar in style to this.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about Game Night. I need to watch that finally.
Yep. And this one's worth watching as well. It's a lot more fun than you think you're expecting. I mean, it is what you expect, but it's a very well done version of what you expect it to be.
Sure.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I'm like,
right.
He tags him in his wedding. Okay.
Right, exactly.
So
he's like, I think I pretty much got this. It's like, oh no, there's a lot to this. And
okay, if you're telling me it's more than just
the tag scenes, like what you're hearing, what you just heard in that clip, the tag scenes are really, really well done. Like extremely well done. Slow motion effects, stunt work is actually really, really good.
I'm going to predict Scott does not watch this.
I'll watch it. That sounds all right to me. That seems like something I'd like. Actually, it sounds like something I would like. I think I will watch it.
I'll bet you $5 he does.
I bet I do.
Okay, that bet is on.
All right, you guys live close to each other. You can actually pay cash to each other. If I win,
we'll say by April Fool's Day. By April 1st, Scott will have watched.
No, I think till the end of the month. He has until the end.
Oh, okay, till the end, till March 1st. Okay.
HBO switches out their movies once a month or something like that, right?
Depends.
Good point. So
all right, I watch it before.
Join us on TMS for the next 3 weeks, as Brian says. Have you watched Tag yet?
Yeah. I'm going to do it soon, so I don't have to go through that. It's going to be soon. I'll watch it tonight. I don't know. All right, well, here's the trailer to my movie. It's not a trailer; it's part of one, but it's. I'm really torn on it. I'm like split, kind of not right down the middle.
Whether you recommendal it or don't recommendal it.
Yeah, and it maybe just depends on who I'm talking to or something. And I keep going back and forth in my head, and I'll explain why. But here it is. See if you guys can figure it out.
I like it here. It makes me peaceful.
Me too.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm retired.
What was your job?
I know what you watched.
I was in the funeral business.
All right. What do you think?
I wanted to watch this too. I have it on my queue, and it's based off a graphic novel. It's like Slope.
Oh, no. I do. It's Polar. This is Polar.
Polar, yeah. Slope. I would prefer Slope. I think that's a great name.
Sloper.
Yeah.
Sloper.
Sloper or Polar. Oh, yeah, Polar is the name.
Leslie Knope as Leslie Slope as played by Amy Poehler.
Pulp.
I knew it was like a one-word thing. I just couldn't remember.
Sloper. So yeah, it is that. It's Polar. It's based on a comic book that ran for, I want to say it was Dark Horse Comics, who has that comic series. I think it's a short run series, graphic novel style stuff. I never read it, so I don't know a whole lot about it. But the way this thing has been advertised is, hey, Mads Mikkelsen, who is awesome and everything, and creepy and cool, is in this, and he plays a hitman who's trying to retire, but instead has to go through a bunch of revenge stuff. If that sounds a lot like John Wick, you're probably in the right ballpark. It is definitely aimed at that audience. John Wick, what's the Tarantino movies with what's her name?
It also reminds me of like Red.
Kill Bill.
Maybe
Kill Bill.
Red.
Yeah, Red a little bit, but Kill Bill's probably even a better example. But this is kind of revenge driven sort of hitman-y thing. I am a gigantic gushing fan of the John Wick movies. I can't wait for the third one coming out this year. I think it's awesome. Polar has one really amazing thing going for it, and that's Mads Mikkelsen. He's mesmerizing in it. I think he's amazing in it. He's not doing too much more than he does in a lot of things he's in. It's kind of just the Mads Mikkelsen thing, but he's very menacing.
What was his name in James Bond? The character name?
Oh, with the eye that always bled.
With
that
the
guy?
bleeding eye. Yeah,
he was always
Le chauffeur.
whacking James Bond in the nuts with a bag or whatever that was.
Right, yes.
And he was in Hannibal, and he's just got something about him that's just really compelling, and I think that he deserves all of the stuff he's doing now, and it's great. However, he is almost the only good thing. There are a couple of action sequences that are mind-blowing. There's a hallway scene that I cannot get out of my head that was really, really well done. But it's also... there are times where I felt like I was watching somebody's YouTube student film.
Oh, interesting.
And by that, I don't mean like amateur. Well, maybe I do. But the way it was colored and filtered, it just felt like somebody's cheap SLR experiment. And in that vein, it would have been great. This would have been the kind of thing somebody would have said, hey, I'm a listener at TMS. I'd love to like promote my movie on your show or something. You guys mention it. Like, it feels like that level of movie. No offense to anyone who's ever done that. But
do you think they did that because it was a graphic novel? Like they were trying to get Sin City elements in it?
Kind of, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure it succeeded in that way visually. In particular, the bad guys, which some I thought were kind of compelling, were really over the top cartoony, and I don't think that, and not in a good way. They were kind of, they could have been way better. It's also really gory for gory's sake, and I'm not really squeamish about that stuff. It's just, it's like overuse of an F-bomb in a movie. I'm like, okay, we get it. You can do this. Okay. How rebellious of you to be able to say this so often. Like use it in service of the story and of the plot. Don't use it just because you can. And that's how the violence feels in this movie. It feels like they're just throwing it out there because they can.
Gratuitous.
And very gratuitous. And there's parts of it where I'm just like, okay, well, that would have been good enough if you stopped there. You didn't have to go the whole 9 yards. A very sadistic sort of approach to it. It's edited in a way that's very similar to Kill Bill. At the end of it, I'm kind of torn because I want people to see Mads Mikkelsen be a complete bad A. Yeah. He's really compelling in this. Like, I really liked him in this a lot. And then on the other hand, the movie he's in doesn't live up to his...
You wanted it to be better.
Oh, way. I wanted it to be way... I just wanted it to match his level, and it didn't. It never did. So
that's a shame.
So I'm kind of... I remain torn. I think some people are going to really enjoy this for just like the schlocky thing that it is. I think there's going to be other people who are like me who really dig his performance, but everything else kind of falls flat. I think since it's on Netflix and it's easy and it's just sort of there, maybe give it a shot. I think the first chunk of it is not great. I think it gets better as it goes, and I think this escape revenge stuff toward the middle and end is really fun. But and it takes some turns. It actually had a twist I didn't see coming. I'll give it that. So,
do you think we're getting to a time where we're getting saturated? Like Netflix is just buying everything. It feels like.
I don't know if it's that so much as I think Netflix, and somebody was saying this the other day, and I believe it's true. Netflix has data on us and what we want to watch, and I think what they think everyone wants is crime documentaries and revenge movies.
I think that's what they think you want.
Yeah.
Give another crime documentary for Scott Johnson.
Yeah, maybe. But my point is, like, if you go look at all their new releases, it's all along those lines.
Well, yeah, like, it's the popularity of Making a Murder and the popularity of. Well, I mean, I guess the revenge thing, I'm trying to think of what they've done, because Orange is the New Black or Stranger Things, neither of those really are the revenge drama.
The way they put it, or the way I see it, like Bird Box is another example of genre filmmaking I think that sells well on there. That thing did really well for Netflix. I think that it's that kind of stuff. It's documentaries about true crime, and it's cakes. Lots of cakes. Everybody's baking a cake. So I think that they have targeted stuff they know does well on the service, and they're sort of just knuckling in on that. And this would be kind of a genre thing that I think fits somewhere in there. I'm not complaining because I like that. Everything I've just mentioned, including the cakes, I'm into. But I just feel like this one had a lot of potential and it got squandered. I don't know if it's just the director or what the deal is, but some really interesting.
I'm still gonna watch it because the trailer did pique my interest. I was like, ooh, I want to watch this.
The best character or the best villain in it is one of the hitmen is this little Irish guy with bright orange hair that barely says anything, but he is so weird looking the way that he's like dressed.
People you keep hoping that they come back on screen.
Very compelling, and sadly you don't get a ton of him, but you get enough of him where you're like, okay, they got him right, but there are a few, like the main bad guy. You need to see it to know, because it's not spoiling it, but he's just this like snotty, rich British giant fat guy with like a weird birthmark on his face, and he wears a yellow or pink suit all the time, and It just is such a cartoon. That part I just never could get my head around. But the rest of it, passable. Mads Mikkelsen, way more than passable. Total badass and really cool in this. And I hope we get more of him on Netflix. There's some Western on there with him in it I haven't seen. I want to. He's in that new game coming out from Metal Gear guy. Can't think of his name all of a sudden. Kojima.
Really?
Kojima, yeah. What's the name of it? Death Stranding. That weird freaking game they show at E3 every year. It's got him and
oh yes, right.
Walking Dead guy in there, and
the really cool trailer to it. Like I think I watched that trailer 2 or 3 times because it seems so different.
And that weird baby that's like in the jar or whatever.
Ends in the fog with him standing in the water or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, I think I have that baby right here in chat room. Let's see if you guys can see it.
I have that baby right here.
Yeah, there it is. I have a GIF of it doing the thumbs up in the womb. It's really weird. Anyway, so yeah, there's mine.
So watch it, don't watch it. I don't care.
Depends on who you are. I really do feel like that. Like it really depends on who you are. If you can let some of that stuff I said in the negative pass and just enjoy the ride, I guess it's fine. I mean, I don't regret seeing it. So
I'd be curious, someone that's actually read the graphic novel.
That's a great question. Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody who's read it. I don't know how obscure it was because I hadn't heard of it until.
Because maybe they were true to the characters in the graphic novel.
Yeah, they could have been. Very well could have been. So I'll have to check that out. All right, Nicole, what did you bring for us today?
Brian, look away.
All right, look how scrolling down. There we go.
All right, here you go. I'm recommending a guilty pleasure of mine.
All right, let's give it a shot here. I'm gonna push play.
I'll give you a clue. It's a documentary.
Oh, lovely. All right.
And I still have all of my name tags and contestant cards from all the tapings I've been to.
I watched this too.
37 altogether.
Oh, I'm already in.
So 1 week I got into like watching Price is Right from like 1973. The same refrigerator freezer was on 4 different episodes that I watched, and it was 7.
I'm in. I want to see whatever this is.
Yes, this is great.
This is on Amazon Prime. I don't know how I got sucked into it, but I fell into this movie. I am a huge Price is Right fan. Like crazy. One of my bucket list things is I want to be on the Price is Right.
Really?
I don't know if. Oh yeah.
Nicole Spagan, Spark, come on down.
They wouldn't get her name right.
I want to be on the Price is Right. I don't know. It's a childhood thing, staying home from school sick, and it's just memories with my dad. Like it's a whole thing for me.
Yeah.
This is what got me. This is what got me this week onto the Price is Right music kick. By the way,
really?
I sent Scott
this week.
I watched it this week.
Oh my gosh!
I sent Scott an entire folder full of the Price is Right background music.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Come on down, Nicole.
The documentary is called The Perfect Bid, The Contestant Who Knew Too Much. And so even though I'm a fan of The Price is Right, I had no idea. It's funny because as I watched this documentary, the time frame that they place it in, this guy is a genius. He's a math teacher. And for 35 years, he memorized the prices of all of the prizes
Good Lord.
on The Price is Right.
Wow.
So, and he would go to these shows and he
logged them into a spreadsheet. Every single prize.
And he made he programmed his own video games to test himself of these prices. Yes. His name was Ted Slauson, and they interview him. They interview Bob Barker. They don't interview Drew Carey directly. They actually show footage of him on Kevin
Pollak's show, yeah.
But it was really interesting to listen to Drew Carey's because it really
Drew's like a little mean about this guy actually.
Whereas Bob Barker, he's like, I would have to work if these people didn't come to this show. He's very, you can tell he loved the show.
Oh my gosh, look at these spreadsheets. Oh my gosh.
Man, it's bananas.
Wow.
Like you get into it and it's crazy. And the guy, Ted, so nice.
Yeah.
He went to 30-something tapings, and they actually documented and showed how he helped so many other contestants win the game.
And you'd see like people would be up at contestants row, and it's like, oh, new Broyhill recliner, and then he'd be like, 385, and they'd be looking around, and you could see him in the background yelling 385, and they turn around and go, I'm going to say 400. No, you've overbid.
It was 385.
It was exactly 385. Yeah.
I need to see this. By the way, why is Bob Barker? Bob Barker, I thought was dead. He looks almost dead, but I thought he was gone.
Oh yeah, you see this documentary, and it's like, oh my gosh, the years since he left Price is Right
have not been kind.
It's like all that time kind of caught up to him.
Yeah.
So.
You see this guy your entire life looking like one thing, and he just.
I guess he's still kicking it. That's
he
great.
is kicking, still alive. Yeah.
Right.
I smiled through the whole thing. I loved, and what's really kind of crappy at the end of it, the perfect bid, the guy who actually got the perfect bid, is kind of a douchebag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you and this Ted guy is just such a nice guy, and he didn't get anything from these people. And I just really enjoyed watching it. It actually led me to other game show documentaries on Amazon Prime.
There are other game show documentaries?
There's so many. There are so many. There's actually one that Alex Trebek hosts and interviews all of the old game show hosts. So it's focused on the host.
Really?
So he interviews.
I don't know. You and I climbed down the same rabbit hole apparently, because I was looking through all those. I was like, oh, here's the one about the scandal around Press Your Luck, and here's this one about the Jeopardy, the guy everybody hates, this so and so who was on Jeopardy, and
I did too, and I just was like going further and further down, and then I found all of the old like match games are on Amazon Prime. Like you can watch seasons and seasons of game shows on Amazon Prime. Like I didn't know these were here.
Wow.
So,
I could put that on in the background and have that going while I work and stuff. That sounds like a fun thing to have going.
Yeah.
Especially ancient ones.
Oh, you like this? Check out this. And I was like, I was just going down further and further and further.
Wow.
Game shows and scandals. Like you put those two together, and that I am so hooked on watching documentaries about game show scandals. And what's funny is through these Geek Bowls, I probably have met, a third of these guys in these documentaries. That guy that did the spreadsheet, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up at the Game Show Congress thing in Las Vegas that was tied to a Geek Bowl. I was like, oh, I probably was in the same room hanging out with this guy.
Yeah.
Guy's like amazing.
Did they talk to Chuck Woolery at all? Does Chuck Woolery come
on on the one with Alex Trebek?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. He was out for 2 and 2 when they did that one.
Regis Philbin.
Oh, I like Regis Philbin. Yeah, I like Regis.
Is it Philbin?
Wants to be a millionaire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was on there.
Of course, Regis Philbin. You want to use a lifeline?
Regis is great. It's the only daytime TV I ever liked was him and that before. Kelly Ripa at the end, but then what's her name before that? I always thought he was great.
Kathy Lee Gifford.
Yeah, I watched that back in the day in the morning.
Can't stand Kathy Lee Gifford. I don't know what it is about Kathy Lee Gifford, but
there was something
about
it.
You're not watching the 4th hour of Today?
No. The only times I'll turn. It's funny because that's on the same channel as the news I watch in the morning, the local news. And so when I come up for lunch, I'll flick on the TV and it'll be them. And it's Hoda, and sometimes, mostly lately, it's been Hoda and Jenna Bush, and I like Jenna Bush a lot more than Kathy Lee. And so I'll watch it, but it just turns into this fest of who can drink the most wine and be louder than the other person.
They do drink a lot of wine.
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a wine drinker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're doing enough for both of us.
Perfect Bid is the name. It's on Amazon Prime. If you find Perfect Bid, it will take you to all the other ones that I was telling you about. So, Game Changers is the Alex Trebek documentary.
Oh, and it's a series that continues on, or it's a one-timer, or what?
No, it's just 95-minute documentary with Alex Trebek kind of being the host and interviewing all of these other game show hosts. So Monty Hall was in it.
Does he start them all by saying, so before we get going with this interview, I understand that you also enjoy collecting bottle caps in your hometown of Detroit, Michigan. Does he do that? No?
It says here you've got an interesting story about...
Yeah.
Well, In the trailer for this one, it has Vanna White and Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
And Vanna White said that she even applied to be a contestant on, I think, Wheel of Fortune. But I always thought she was always there.
She was always there, as far as I know. I thought.
Ooh, 1986 Card Sharks. I could watch that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
You know what's also really fun and stupid, but
hold
fun?
Hold up a 5. Is the next number going to be higher or lower than a 5?
That thing that Snoop does now is really fun to watch, by the way. What's it called?
The Snoop?
Oh, it's the Joker's Wild.
Joker's Wild with
I don't
Snoop
know
Dogg.
why they did not call it the Toker's Wild.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect opportunity to do the joke that they're doing for the entire 30 minutes.
Yep.
In the title of the show.
title of the show, exactly. And he also, every time the 420 comes up in any form, like, oh, the guy's score is at 420, or it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the thing. He'll bring it up, and he's hilarious as a game show host. I really like it.
I haven't seen this game show.
Categories
Where's this on?
I want to say this might just be on TV. I'm not sure where I
It's
saw
on TBS, I think.
Oh, okay.
But you can stream it somewhere. I know. Yeah,
I'm sure.
So yeah,
Your categories are strains of Kush and other things that are blunt.
was that your voice?
That's
for
my
Snoop?
really bad Snoop Dogg impersonation. Snoopy Poop Dog.
Snoopy
That's actually
Poopy.
not my impersonation of Snoop Dogg. That's my impersonation of Snoopy Poop Dog.
Nice. Well, before I send Nicole out of here, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna give a little showcase music. You can follow her at Nicole Spag, and she'll tell you all about these rad things, including that cool documentary about The Price is Right and that weird dude. That's Nicole Spag.
Hot tub.
You can find that today, so go follow her. Nicole, have a fantastic one. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
This
You're
music's
going on a
great.
trip to Bavaria. You'll spend 3 nights and 2 days in lovely Bavaria.
Didn't Bob Barker used to like have people put their hand
Fondle. Yeah,
in
well,
his
yeah.
pocket?
If your bid was spot on, then you'd come up and have to fish $100 bill out of his jacket pocket, not his pants pocket.
Oh, it was
but his
jacket pocket. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was for some reason. I thought it was his like pants up next to his junk pocket.
No.
Okay.
Well, you got a Tootsie Roll in here? What's in it? I haven't found $1 bill, or $100 bill, but
yeah, you might win Barker's penis. That weird little 70s whistle, so
yes,
good.
I love it.
So
little
dumb.
Moog synthesizer.
So good. All right, that's gonna do it for the show. Yeah, I think we're good. Today I'll be on DTNS at 2. Brian's got 1 p.m. Coverville. Tonight, Core will be back. That'll be one to listen to. I'll just say that for fans, so check that one out. And what else? There's probably something else today I can't think of.
Well, Tina and I are going over to dinner at the Crazy Neighbor's house, so I'm hoping there's a story for tomorrow.
Oh, good. Great. There'll be a bong there as well, probably.
It's probably not made from a baby shark.
Yeah, you never know. We're going to take our leave, but before we do, a reminder that the show is paid for by the good contributions of you, the listener, over at patreon.com/TMS. If you're looking for any other information from us, you'll find it at frogpants.com/TMS. And now we're out of here. Oh, and there is a live stream. Luke's Sightwalker. DTNS does go live every day at 2 p.m. is when they start. Go to dailytechnewsshow.com for details. But we start a little early, pre-record some stuff, and then we do the show at 2:30. So check that out. All right, that's it. Brian, song time, please play.
Yes. Peter Fisher, our usual first Ask TMS hashtag user on TMSPM, says, so, blah, 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 another year on this planet. It's that time of year I make a request for a song and you maybe play one. Thing is, this year, the 6th is on a Wednesday, and I'm usually at band practice on Wednesday afternoons, and I only get to hear the first half of the show. But, hey, seeing as you can't play music, thanks, Twitch, I'll have to listen to the podcast version anyway. Thanks, and since comments I've made about the current administration, I don't think I'll be making it to Nerd Vegas in the spring. I don't know why, what the one has to do with the other, so I'll just say, have a nice time storming the castle. P.S. I don't think Excalibur is as bad as people think.
Oh, really? It's bad. He's talking about the hotel, right? Like the casino.
He's talking about Excalibur, the hotel. Yeah, I've stayed there, and it's not even Holiday Inn quality rooms.
No, it's a dump. It's a freaking dump.
And the only place on the strip you'll find more kids than Excalibur is Circus Circus.
Yeah.
And I won't go in there either.
No, as far as I'm concerned, those are sister hotels. They're garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, but it's funny. I did do a poker tournament there, and during the day when there's nobody in there, it's actually pretty nice.
Oh.
It's quiet in there.
Right.
Silent, actually.
Wow.
Peter Fisher wants to hear a song, a ska cover of a hard rock or metal song. I got what you need. I got it right here. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a cover of Europe's The Final Countdown.
Woo! Woo-hoo! You saw where that went, where we were going there.
I just renamed that song and made it 100 times better.
Yeah.
Farillo from the album Metallica from 2000 with The Final Countdown. I'm going to go lie down for a little while. Enjoy this cover of the song by Europe.
All right. Be back here tomorrow. Wendy will be Wendy's skiing in Idaho, so we're going to do a call now tomorrow. So coming back for that.
That'll end up in a mashup.
I wonder. Gosh, I wonder. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I feel like I'm gonna die.
Oh, geez.